The 8 types of waste in lean construction. This is my jam. You are going to have some fun. Stay with us. So what are the 8 wastes? How do wastes affect us? And why is knowing the wastes so crucial to you being able to run an operationally excellent project? And what does it allow you to do? Right? These are all questions that we're going to answer right now. And you may have heard of the 8 wastes before, but the sequence and the order that we're going to talk to you about now is remarkable, and it may surprise you. So stay with us. All right, so let's go ahead and cover this. What are the 8 wastes in construction? Well, let me give you an order before I tell them to you, and I'm going to prove to you, and the videographers behind the camera can confirm if I'm being honest, that it's not just cut and pieced together. But I have these memorized, and I'm going to tell you how I have them memorized and show you the order that you can use to remember them yourself. And I do want to give credit where credit is due. Paul Akers, in his book 2 Second Lean, and in his videos, he explains this order and how it's a natural way to think and remember the 8 wastes. So here we go. Are you ready? Okay, number 1, overproduction. When you overproduce something, that means you have too much of it. And when you have too much of it, it can get damaged. It can be in people's way. It needs to be moved. Now we have defects. Or you've produced too much of it before you realize that they were all defective, right? So there's a problem. If you overproduce, that is the mother, or I'll say father. Either mother or father. I don't want to get into trouble there, but mother and father of all other wastes. The other companion partner is what's called excess inventory. Because once you overproduce, now you have an excess inventory of materials or product, either in place or on the ground. And again, it can get rained on, damaged, trampled over. You have to move it. It needs to be inventoried, right? There's so many other things you have to do with it once you've overproduced something, made too much of it, and now you have an excess inventory of it and a longer exposure time of when it can get it damaged. So this is the mother and father, or the 2 partners that create all the other little waste babies. They meet each other and they fall in love, and you've heard about the birds and the bees, and then they really when a couple loves each other very much, then you have little babies. So now we have 6 little waste babies that happen from those 2, from overproduction and excess inventory. And here's what they are. The third one is motion. So once you have excess inventory because of overproduction, you have things that you have to move, right? I need to move it here. I need to inventory this. I need to fix a defect. There's lots of motion which can hurt people because you have inventory that you have to manage. The other one, number 4, is transportation. The reason you have transportation is because, like, let's say you produce too much or too many cars, for instance, too many Ford F-150s. Well, now those all have to be transported to staging lots, moved, inventoried, cleaned, fixed, protected out of the weather. You not only have motion, but you also have transportation now. Okay, so now to number 5. Because not only is this stuff getting damaged in the weather, damaged from being in people's way, but damaged from being moved and transported, now you have defects, which is number 5. And so these defects, we're obviously not going to pass that down to the client. They have to be fixed. And fixing defects is called number 6, overprocessing. And so when you're overprocessing something, well, we've already worked it once, now we have to work it again. Or we filed that paperwork once, now we have to file it again, right? So overprocessing is the thing that comes out of having to fix defects. When you're overprocessing, you are taking additional time and resources. So the 7th waste is called waiting, and that could be work waiting on workers or workers waiting on work. But basically, while we're overprocessing, while we're fixing defects, we are waiting and work is not progressing forward, which creates stops and restarts, and it creates sometimes overburden. And then number 8, it is not using the genius of the team. Now here's how that ties in. All of the other waste could be prevented by number 8, where we used and utilized the genius of the team. Real quick, speaking of genius of the team, don't you think we make a good team? If we do, why don't you subscribe, and we'll get rid of any of the waste that you have trying to find these and search them. you'll just get them on your feed. So let's do that now if you want to. I'm just saying, we make a good team. And so that is the order, right? So I can just say off the top of my head, overproduction creates excess inventory. Excess inventory means that we have extra motion and transportation because we have to move it. Once that happens, either originally or later, now we have defects. When we have defects, now we have to overprocess it when we fix it, which creates waiting. And all of it was a waste because we could have used the genius of the team. So those are they. I have those memorized, right? And if I could, I would ask the videographers to confirm, but yeah, they just gave me a thumbs up, right? Like, I got that all from memory. No notes, I didn't look, none. Like, all from memory. Because I understand the order and I understand the impact, okay? Here's how this will affect you. We need to reduce or eliminate waste. We need to get this reined back in so that you're doing only necessary value-added work or necessary non-value-added work. But we do not want to be doing not necessary non-value-added work. So we need to get rid of these wastes, and they can show up anywhere. Paul Akers says all you have to do is know them, memorize them, and then let it make you mad. Like, oh, I hate waste. I see it everywhere. And then just take incremental steps to remove the waste and fix them. So now let me give you some tips that will make this work for you. There's a process called 5S. I'll do 3S today. And 3S is sort, straighten, and sweep or shine. When we take 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour every day to 5S or 3S our areas. And this is especially applicable in construction, in gang boxes in the field and the project site, but it's also applicable at our offices, our desks, our trucks, our homes. If we take some time to do the first S, sort, which is get rid of what we don't need, the second S, which is straighten, which means organize what we have, and the third S, which is sweep and shine, which means clean and organize our area, now we have an environment where we can see these wastes. If it's dirty, if you haven't 5S, you can't see the waste. So Paul Akers' system is 3S or 5S. Now you can see the waste. Now you can let it make you angry. Now you can make incremental steps to fix it. His last bit of advice with that is to take before and after videos and scale it through the organization so everybody does this. At Lean Tact and Elevate, we don't so much do the videos, but we always take pictures or we improve graphics or processes, and we always show the before and after for those. So whether you do a video or a graphic or a report out or whatever, the key is that you start building a culture to where everyone starts to do it. And at BSRL, a project I was a superintendent over, we actually got 160, actually more, but 160 final edited videos for our YouTube channel that were showing these improvements from the craft. So even your craft can get it done. Check out the Lean Superintendent YouTube channel if you want to see the early videos that we shot. And so I hope you found this helpful. There are 3 major problems in construction when it comes to productivity and flow. One is waste, which we just taught you about. Number 2 is unevenness, which is in a similar category. And number 3 is overburden. These are what I call the 3 M's. In Japanese, it's muda, muri, and mura, right? I didn't pronounce it exactly right, but it's waste, unevenness, and overburden. You're always going to watch out for this because they're going to slow you down and hold you up and hurt your people. If you memorize it, then 5S or 3S every day, then see the waste, get a little angry, and fix it, you will be on your path to continuous improvement and fixing everything that bugs you and end up, even if it takes some time, with a remarkable environment. These are the 8 wastes in construction. And I'm going to leave you as a free gift a formatted Canva graphic that you can print out and put in people's pockets that will enable them to memorize the 5S system and the 8 wastes in their proper order that you can use tomorrow. When I was a superintendent, I gave laminated copies to every worker on site. In morning huddles, I would say, can you hold up your card? Make sure everybody knew what these were so that we could tackle them together. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.